Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Data here with breaking news in the NHL. Scrambling the Jets to get this one out. Stopping the Demidov simulation to just come and scramble this one. Couldn't get a thumbnail going. Just had to get this one out there. So thanks for joining. As the Tampa Bay Lightning have traded Mikhail Sergachev to the Utah Hockey Club in a package that will bring them back, taking back a lot, being able to move out a lot of money and take back prospects and pieces that won't cost as much. Conor Geekie, Moser, a 2025 second round pick from Toronto, and pick number 199 in this draft, a seventh round pick here in 2024, thus saving them $8.5 million prior to signing Moser, who's currently in RFA, and calling up Geekie. But you'd think freeing up at least something like $6 million, as they'll be in the hunt to re-sign Steven Stamkos after the disrespectful offer that seemed to be what came out the other day, 8 years at $3 million or whatever. And even John Marino to Utah. Hold on, what's going on here? More Utah making big splashes. What is going on? John Marino going to Utah as well. Big moves. Big moves. But Mikhail Sergachev, the biggest of them all at this time, the 25-year-old, 26-year-old, how old is Mikhail Sergachev now? Two-time Stanley Cup winner, former 9th overall pick, or was it 7th overall pick, the Montreal Canadiens? I'm scrambling here to try to get my facts right. Utah, they going broke? They have the money for all this? I don't know. So let's move over to Twitter as I'm trying to really just get this out ASAP. So Sergachev at $8.5 million. We'll get into who they are as players and what the return is in a moment, but just looking at what it is for, he's 26, what it is just financially. Sergachev frees up $8.5 million. The Lightning take in Moser, great defenseman, an RFA who's going to be a cheaper AAV, of course. Conor Geekie, who was the 12th overall pick last year by the I'm totally blanking on top 15 pick last year by the Coyotes, now Utah. And now that gives him about $13 million in projected cap space, with needing to sign Steven Stamkos first and foremost. He was 11th overall pick, perfect. So the deal itself: Mikhail Sergachev to Utah Hockey Club for Moser, Conor Geekie, 2025 second and 2024 seventh. No salary retained, and the Lightning built to free up a lot of money right there, as they have said, listen, we're going to be doing what we got to do to keep our captain on this team. Lightning didn't retain any salary, opening up some much needed cap space with a Victor Hedman extension expected to come next week, and maybe another run and extending Steven Stamkos before he hits the open market. And on top of that, they also get John Marino. Utah does. I don't know the return on that just yet, but that's true. Brett Pesce was also rumored to be going to the New Jersey Devils once free agency opens on July 1st. So Brett Pesce would sign with the Devils, then pushing Marino to Utah. Utah brings in Marino and Sergachev, giving up one of their better defensemen and a big prospect, plus a second. They have a lot of picks. So it's for pick 49 and a second in 2025. So Utah gives up pick 49 and a 2025 second for John Marino. Wow. So let me just first, there's a lot we got to pull up here I want to see Utah's draft pick situation at this point, but a huge blockbuster as Mikhail Sergachev, one of the better young defensemen in the NHL, two-time Stanley Cup winner, instantly becomes the best defenseman in Utah, and would be a piece of their core moving forward as they want to be competitive ASAP. With Clayton Keller and Mikhail Sergachev, those are two big names right there that they just brought in, and they still have a lot of picks to play with over the next 3 years. I don't know if the Canes are making any trades at this point, and the Devils select Yegorov with that pick, a goaltender. Gotcha. So let's go back to what Cap Friendly can show us here. So is that with Sergachev on the team? Yeah, so with Sergachev on the team, he has a full no-trade clause starting June 2027. So full no trade clause today. Yeah? So did he have to waive that no trade clause, or did that only come into effect on a certain day? And even Kevin Hayes going to the Pittsburgh Penguins, another trade going on. Oh my goodness, a lot going on here. So that leaves Utah with John Marino on the team? Yes, it is. So that now leaves Utah with 2 firsts in 2024, which they used both of those, correct? Or they traded anyways. The second was moved away in the Marino deal, unless I'm not sure which one. Yeah, I believe that was what it was. That then leaves them with 2/3, 2/4, 2/5, 2/6 for the rest of this draft. Next year, first, second, 2/3. And the year after that, first, 3 seconds, 2/3. This is crazy for the Utah Hockey Club. They have so much value. They're finally using that value, weaponizing that value, taking advantage of what other teams need. And they bring in Mikhail Sergachev, one of the best young defensemen in the NHL, getting paid $8.5 million for a reason. Received Norris votes in 2023. Tough injury-shortened season in 2024. But I thought that Sergachev was going to be a lifer with the Lightning. I'm shocked to see him move. I know they needed to free up money. And Victor Hedman and Steven Stamkos, yes, great reasons to bring them back. But when you think about how much younger Sergachev is, he was on, 8.5 is a lot, but that's an affordable AAV with a salary cap going up. He signed at $8.5 million until the end of 2031. That's a huge, huge plus for any team who wants to have just stability in that sense. Now Utah needs to sign Dursey, Valimaki, whoever, and their forwards things to be worked on. There's still work to be done in Utah. But this just moved ahead their rebuild, the Coyotes Utah rebuild. That just moved them ahead by years now. By years. Now who plays with Victor Hedman in Tampa Bay? I don't know. Does Chernak move up to in the depth chart or something? So we look at Tampa Bay, that leaves them with 13.835 in projected cap space. They have a bunch of late sevenths and stuff like that to try and take some shots on some guys. Hedman's going to get his extension, but he's 33 going on 34. Ryan McDonough, 2 more years at 35. I don't know if I love this. Like, I don't know why the Lightning brought back in Ryan McDonough at $6.75 million. Why bring in McDonough at 6.75 and move out Mikhail Sergachev, thus freeing up $1.75 million? I don't know. I don't like this for Tampa. Not the Sergachev move itself, but having brought in McDonough feels like this kind of forced their hand. They brought in McDonough, money got tighter, and now they want to extend Hedman and Stamkos. They didn't have the money to do it. So that leaves Hedman, McDonough, Chernak, Perbix, Radish, JJ Moser, and add one more guy in the mix for the top 6 defense, which is fine. That's a fine defensive core. But to say that you brought in McDonough, money got tight, and then you traded out Mikhail Sergachev, in the long run, like come 2028, you could have had Sergachev, Chernak, and whoever else. Now you really only have who long term. Yes, you'll have Hedman on a long extension. How long is he going to be good for? Hard to say. I don't know if I like that trade, not because of the value they got back for Sergachev, but for the situation that they've put themselves in as a franchise. That's what I don't like. I have no clue why they brought back Ryan McDonough at that cap hit. I have no idea. So that leaves them with enough money to sign Hedman and hopefully Stamkos. But even then, it's not a guarantee that Stamkos will stay. There's a lot of moving pieces in this one. But I'm not liking it for Tampa very, very much. And Utah, in the end, they get to, yes, they move out a great piece in Conor Geekie. Get excited, Tampa Bay, for Conor Geekie and for what's his name? JJ Moser. The Italy game is starting now. I got to get to this Italy game against Switzerland. I got to get back to the career sim for Demidov. Come on now. Knizhov on waivers now as well. Yeah, I'm very confused by not just the trade, but the situation. Like I said, the situation that they've put themselves in. That's what I'm confused by. But the Lightning do get a great prospect in Conor Geekie, very big prospect. Let me go ahead and pull up the Geekie numbers. Conor Geekie out of the WHL, I believe. Yes, he was playing with the Winnipeg Ice and the WHL. He was on all kinds of teams in WHL. Winnipeg Ice, the Wild, the Broncos. 11th overall pick in 2022. Yes, Conor Geekie was. Red Wings working on a Trouba trade as well. Oh my goodness. What is going on? I got to watch the Italy game. Conor Geekie, 6'4", just turned 20 years of age. So he's a great center prospect for the Lightning. They didn't have much down the middle, I don't think. I can't bring their entire their roster to mind. But Conor Geekie immediately becomes one of their top prospects, if not the top forward prospect in their system. Yes, Ethan Gauthier is also in there. But I gotta think that Conor Geekie is immediately their top forward prospect. And on defense, not much there for the Lightning. I think in their entire system, Conor Geekie becomes their top prospect in their entire system. The Lightning also pick up JJ Moser, who's not to be just thought of as a toss in here. Great young defenseman who is what, 28? No, that's not. Hey, wrong Moser. JJ Moser, excuse me. He's 24, right? Yeah, he's 24, just turned 24 even. Former second round pick. He's shown that offensive flair. 26 points last year, 31 the year before that. 6'1", 173 pounds from Switzerland. Speaking of Switzerland, gotta get to that game. It's because it's been announced by the insiders over Twitter, Jonas. That's how we know that it's happened. Geekie, no, I think Geekie can be a great middle six centerman. And then Tanner Jeannot to the Kings. Wow, what's going on? The Lightning trade what? It was a first, a second, a third. What else did they? Was it a first, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth for Tanner Jeannot? And the ROI on Jeannot is that they now get back a second round pick. So they essentially give in the end a first, a third, a fourth, and a fifth for Jeannot, and they recoup a second. So that also frees up more money for the Lightning in that sense. Oh my goodness. So that's 2.665 million. That's freed up as well. So that gives the Lightning the money that they need. But what is the ROI on these deals? And Trouba possibly headed to Detroit. Whoa! I got to rename the stream to just all kinds of stuff going on. Jeannot, no, he's not moved out just yet. What's Friedman saying over here? Wait, what is going on in the NHL? Friedman saying Jeannot to the Kings for a second and 118 this year. Forgot to mention that. And 118. If we refresh, both trading, yeah. So yeah, he was acquired for a first, a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth, and Cal Foote, and they ended up moving him for a second. Yeah, tough ROI on that. What's the ROI on Jeannot? What's the ROI on McDonough? I am not impressed with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Not the trades that they're making right now. I'm not impressed with the asset management. To bring in McDonough and then have to trade Sergachev, and to bring in Jeannot for a first, a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth, and then end up trading him out for a second. I hate this organizationally for the Lightning. Utah, the big winners here. Yeah, that's how we're feeling here. Day 2 of the draft. Oh my goodness. Is Gary announcing these? Is Bill Daly announcing these? Wow. So if we just want to try and wrap up the Sergachev trade a bit more, JJ Moser, former second round pick, here he is eating big minutes as well, 20 plus minutes per night. So he's going to eat big minutes for the Lightning. Lightning fans will love JJ Moser. The value back on Sergachev, a top prospect in Geekie, a good top 4 defenseman in Moser, and a second and a seventh. The return on value is not horrible. Again, it's just the position that they put themselves in. That's what I don't like. Meanwhile, Tanner Jeannot, what did he even end up doing with Tampa Bay? He was a healthy scratch at some points. Tanner Jeannot in the end ends up scoring in his total Tampa Bay career 18 points in 75 games, was a negative 16. Did he even play in the playoffs ever with Tampa? Yes, he played 7 postseason games, 1 assist, negative 4. Ouch. Did they trade Kucherov? No Kucherov trade. They traded Sergachev. Wow. So horrible return on investment for Tanner Jeannot. But the Kings are happy to take him on. The Lightning now have freed up $11.15 million for next season in a matter of minutes. No salary retention anywhere. Let me get back to what some of you are saying here in the live stream. My goodness. Yeah, so in the end, it ends up being a first, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and a prospect for 18 games played. Ridiculous. Built for the playoffs, but didn't end up helping out super well. Didn't work out as Tampa would have hoped it would. Crazy. Good on Nashville for getting the value that they did for Tanner Jeannot. Oh my goodness. Toman here. It feels like they're just wasting assets and making their window shorter. That's like the window with Sergachev involved it's not like Sergachev would have been the only guy out there, but Sergachev was the future of the defensive core. Who's your future on defense now? There's not really anyone young-ish on Tampa Bay, and there's not even on defense, and there's not really anyone who can be that top guy in their system. So they're gonna, for sure, they're gonna try to re-sign Stamkos. They're gonna extend Hedman, but even if they do that, as a Lightning fan, are you happy with that? Tough asset management from Francesco saying Brisebois needs to get fired for that poor asset management. Yes, of course, the Lightning are not going anywhere anytime really soon. Kucherov, Point, Hagel, Chiarelli, that's all great. But the defense is going to take a massive hit in come 2026 or so. If Hedman's going to be 35, 36, McDonough's out of a contract, Chernak's the only guy who you have signed on, your defense is going to be a 35, 36-year-old Victor Hedman, Chernak, who's going to be like 30, JJ Moser, who will be great, but that's it. And like I said again, as Goldie is saying, we're trying to wrap our head around bringing in Ryan McDonough. Why in the world would you bring in $6.75 million to a player on a no-trade clause at 35 years of age when you're desperate to free up money? Or were they that confident that Stamkos would have re-signed on a team-friendly deal and now they're scrambling? That could be it. I'm shook. I am shook by these deals. And if we go back to Twitter here, refreshing what else is going on. Meanwhile, the Leafs are booed for taking a timeout, pondering at 58. Sharks, Knizhov buyout. Yeah, Toronto called a timeout there. Wow. So a flurry of moves that brings Sergachev to Utah. Let's actually go and look at John Marino's numbers. We didn't get a chance. Marino goes to Utah as well to open the door to Pesci to New Jersey. John Marino, great defenseman in Pittsburgh, was traded for peanuts to the Devils, in my opinion. And now the Devils get good value back on him at least, and they'll go and get Brett Pesci. 2 years in New Jersey, 43 points, plus 15 in 139 games. He ate some big minutes there as well, 20, 21 minutes plus. So I'm getting hyped. If you're a Utah hockey fan, time to get excited. Here's the Marino machine. Yeah. There's a trade to announce here from the draft as Toronto's making some sort of move here. Yeah, if Stamkos goes to open market, it's going to be massive. Even worse. Like if you do all this to free up all that money, it hurts, but you get Stamkos. There's some sort of consolation prize. Toronto trades 58 to Florida for a second in 2025 and pick number the last pick in the draft as well. Interesting. So, yeah, again, if you get Stamkos, it's a good consolation prize. Still hurts, but it's a good consolation prize. But if you miss out on Stamkos and you did all this just to extend Hedman to when he's going to be 40 years old on a big AAV, wow, is that going to sting? You'll want to use that money elsewhere. It'll still be money that Tampa can use. But wow. Stamkos out, Gensel in. Like, that's the thing. If they have the money to do it, they'll want to make a splash elsewhere. Francesco saying, I would have kept Sergachev, not traded for McDonough, not traded for Jeannot. And oh yeah, big congratulations on 1,000 videos. Ciao Data, great job. Hey, grazie mille. I gotta go see the Italia, Forza Italia, Forza Azzurri. Questa partita against gli Svizzero. So yeah, I think Jeannot, you can look back on Jeannot with hindsight. It didn't work. It was a lot of value when it was. I remember calling it a fleece when it happened, and now it works out. It ends up being a fleece, really. But really, trading out Sergachev after having brought in McDonough, I don't get it. I do not get it. So, quick recap here. If we go to the trade tracker, maybe on Cap Friendly. So, of this live stream, what did we cover in this live stream? With more to come, as I want to get the Demidov simulation finished. I'm in year number 10, so I got to get going on that. I want to get that out ASAP for everybody. Can we do the trade tracker here? Where am I trying to go? Tools. No, interactive. Come on, Cap Friendly. Where are you? Now we're trying to get some lag here. It's trade machine. No, just give me a second. I'll pull this up in just a sec. You with Montreal's pick. Oh, very happy. Go back and listen to my live stream last night of the draft. The 4-hour live stream we did. If you want to hear my thoughts on Demidov, I was going nuts. Here we go. I found it now. So the trades since going live was JJ Moser, Conor Geekie, a second and a seventh to Tampa for Mikhail Sergachev, John Marino and a fifth to Utah for 2 seconds, Tanner Jeannot to the Kings for a second and a fourth, And then the Panthers trade for pick 58 by giving up a second next year and the last pick in the draft. Do you think the Canadiens wanted Yzerman? I don't think so. I think Demidov was always their guy for sure. He was ranked number 2 by Kent Hughes, so it makes sense going for him at 5. Well, I found it. Thanks, Dice. So huge moves. What do we think about this, ladies and gentlemen? It's instant reaction and analysis for a reason, but a lot of moves going on. I hate this for the Lightning, not for, again, the value, but for the asset management. I don't get it. But Utah, huge plus for Utah. Oh, instead of Hage, Yzerman over Hage, I was very happy with Hage. Yzerman wouldn't have upset me, but I was very happy with Hage. That's who the Canadiens wanted at that point as well. That was the guy that they traded up for when they traded 26 to 21. So, yeah, a lot to say. I'm going to end it there to go back to the Demidov career simulation and check out the Italy game versus Switzerland as well. But let me know down in the comments. Yes, I think it's clear that the Lightning have had difficult asset management, but what would smooth it over? Would a long-term cheap AAV on Stamkos smooth this over? Maybe, but they still need defense in the system. Sergachev was that guy. Moser comes in, that's great, but Sergachev was their guy of the future. Till 2031, he was going to be their guy. 8.5 million AAV, which was affordable enough. 2-time Stanley Cup champion, received Norris votes, was out last year due to injury, but had a great start to the season. It looked great when he did play. Now what's going to be happening long-term for the Lightning? Tough question. So leave your thoughts on all those trades. I'm going to try and fix a proper thumbnail for Sergachev. Marino is a big flurry of 20 minutes right there. I'm sure we'll be back live again later today with some other Trouba trade or something. So keep an eye out. Subscribe if you haven't already for all breaking news and analysis. And of course, later today, guaranteed, maybe it's going to be in 6 hours, but whenever it comes, it's going to be here. The Ivan Demidov career simulation on NHL 24 with the Canadiens is going to be coming out later today. So subscribe to not miss out on any of that. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave your comment down here on YouTube and join us on the Discord server, link in the description, where we're going to be breaking down a lot more of this, slandering, breaking down, and giving analysis on the trades that are as they go. Yeah. So we'll call it there, and I'm sure we'll be live again soon enough. Thanks for being here, ladies and gentlemen. And what a start to the off season here, as we still have more to come for free agency on Monday. So looking forward to reading your thoughts, and we'll talk soon.